So Sting is the most recent creature feature involving a mutating spider in a New York apartment complex. And be warned, I hate spiders. And what the movie's about, you have this family in this kind of ran down apartment complex involving a lot of family members and a 12-year-old girl. She finds a spider that was from outer space, takes it as her pet because, kids don't listen to orders. It kind of starts eating and growing. And starting off with some of the positives of this movie, the acting in this movie is actually pretty passable. I mean, the 12-year-old girl played by Alia Brown is actually pretty good. And as I always say, whenever you have a child actor, it's really hit or miss. So the fact she's not terrible is plus. And the second positive to this movie when it comes to acting is Ryan Core. He plays the dad, and I think he's actually pretty good in this. I mean, he's actually kind of the main in this. The main story kind of cycles through him. And I kept looking at this guy, thinking he was a complete hybrid between Aaron Taylor Johnson and Mark Norman, and I can't unsee it anymore. The funniest part of this movie probably is the Exterminator, played by Jermaine Fowler, and he was in The Blackening. I thought he was pretty funny in that, kind of playing the nerdy guy, and he's actually pretty funny in this too. And the comic relief really helps to break up the time of this. And I actually really like the family dynamic of this one. You have the 12-year-old, the mom, the dad, who's not really your dad, but it's like the boyfriend who became the dad. And just the friendship and the bond between the dad and the girl, I really liked in this movie. The way they talk and interact, the way they share love over his comics. I thought his comics were awesome to look at. I kind of want to read his comics. I said the same thing about Imaginary as I said about this. What you end up getting in this movie is kind of like a family dilemma between the grandma who lives in the complex, the mom, the dad, the daughter, the interpersonal relationship. Oh, well, you have like a mutating spider in the background who's kind of killing and eating all the people of the apartment. Easily the biggest plus to this movie is the visuals. I thought the camera work and cinematography of this movie, especially for what I would think would be a low budget movie, they're actually pretty damn cool. The way they use lighting and shadows. There's a good handful of shots or so where you kind of see like the outline of a spider in a shadow and a character will turn around and it's actually a plant. They do a really good job at like manipulating the shadows of where the spider is. Pleasantly surprised because a lot of creature features don't throw any of it in. And the other thing I really liked about this movie is kind of like the sense of dread and isolation you have. They're in this apartment complex, it's ran down, snowy outside. Everything's kind of like barely lit with like this moonlight blue lighting. You have like light coming in from just the rafters. It's kind of like giving you a little bit of an overlook so you can barely see what's in the room. I don't know, for me, it was just all very pretty to look at. I thought the movie was filmed very well, especially for, like I said, a movie I thought would be low budget. And the other positive to this movie was the CGI, in my opinion. It looks both good and it's not overused. There's some practical effects, but it's mostly CGI when it comes to the spider. They didn't go overboard with it, which is good because the more they kind of just expose you over and over again, you just kind of, it loses its power. But this one kind of had a good balance where like, I don't feel like it was overused enough. And that's always a positive because if you overuse the CGI, we see the monster too much. Maybe the CGI looks corny when it's exposed to light. You can really lose immersion, but they kind of knew a good blend of the practical and the CGI. Keep you invested. I thought it was pretty cool. But if I had a quick gripe about this movie, it's not really anything particularly about the movie. It's about the way they chose to pace it. This movie's like very heavy on the story. I mean, for an hour and 30 minutes, I'd say probably at least an hour and 5 minutes or so is just story building, family dynamics, things like that. And as I said, that actually didn't bother me. I actually kind of liked it coming from Civil War. I was like, wow, there's a plot to this movie. But because of that, you don't really see the spider as much as you'd probably be led to believe with the poster and the trailer and things like that. It's not really to the end when things really ramp up that it kind of picks that up. And that's kind of an important connotation to me because I'm a person who hates spiders. I said that in the beginning, like I've always had a fear of spiders. I hate the way they look, hate the way they crawl. And this movie really didn't hit me like that. It didn't do anything for me when it comes to like fearing spiders. So there are definitely visuals where like people who are absolutely terrified of spiders will completely cringe and grab their seat, but they're few and far between. But overall, that's just a minor gripe. I really didn't mind. I went into this with low expectations, was honestly surprised at how much I liked it. It's a low budget creature feature. I love creature movies. I'm glad they're making a comeback. Hope this movie does well so we get more of them. When I think of the movie Sting, I definitely think that you could do worse, and you probably have. So have you seen this movie? If you have, comment down below, let me know. And if you haven't seen this movie or have no plans of doing so, comment down below, let me know what your favorite spider movie is or maybe a creature feature. As always, going to put a link to my other videos up here. Feel free to check those out. If you haven't already subscribed, what the hell are you waiting for? And that's all I got in this video, guys. It's going to be a short one. Take care. Peace.